Hello, my friend. Today I want to go over different aspects that will help you to slow down your mind. Um, I think we have all experienced moments where our mind just accelerates and it feels like you might experience the feeling of anxiety, of overwhelm, and you might be in the moment where you feel like, oh my God, like how do I slow this down? You might even have the awareness that this is happening. And I just want to go over some tools that have helped me in the past and also my clients to either avoid this and also to slow it down in the moment when you realize. Um, I think generally speaking, you want to have a daily routine that avoids this um, acceleration of the mind. Um, Nevertheless, sometimes we might fall out of a routine, exercise routine and meditation routine, and life happens. A lot of different challenges might hit you at the same time, and your mind just goes off and keeps going, going, going. I took this example the other day to explain to a client, and sometimes when our mind goes quickly, it is almost us walking off a cliff and we are falling and we're just like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. You see yourself falling off the cliff and you know like that's it. Um, and you have the awareness that this is happening, but you think like, okay, there's nothing I can do about it. Until you realize that you actually are wearing a parachute and you're pulling the leash and you slow everything down and you have the balance back. Um, the parachute is a symbol for different systems that you can put in place that you want to really reflect on in advance. Reflect on your past, certain activities that have helped you to feel more balanced, to feel in the moment, just aspects that make you happy. Um, and it can be simple things like talking to a friend. But what is important is when you put your parachute together, um, is that is something that you can do at any time. So your friend might not always have time to talk to you on the phone, or you cannot always meet the person when it's necessary. So you want to have your parachute different tools in check and be aware of it. So when it happens, that you can pull the leash and slow down your mind on demand. Um, Generally speaking, when we talk about anxiety, or let's rewind, when we talk about depression, we are spending too much reflecting on the past. When we think about anxiety, it's something that, generally speaking, when we think too much about the future. If you feel anxious or severe anxiety, you will be able to acknowledge that there are minimum of 3 aspects in your life, areas in your life where you feel uncertain. So you feel that you're not in control. You don't know the outcome. One powerful aspect is to just write down, okay, what are the areas in my life that I feel uncertain right now? And then if this worst case scenario comes, what can I do? How can I react? That is very powerful tool. Um, Sometimes it is just reoccurring thoughts and they occupy our memory space and they hold us back from really working efficiently. So one of the tools that I use for myself and also with clients that works very well, I just put a sheet together and on the left hand side it's really just a mental dump. So all the trash that is really going on, those thoughts that keep rotating, you just start to write down, what do I feel, what do I think, and you just let it all out. Yeah, you take your time, and once you're done with it, then you have actually time to reflect. You start to read from the top, and you just go through it, and then on the right hand side here, you actually use your prefrontal cortex. Okay, is this actually true? Or are these just thoughts? Are these just reoccurring thoughts? And if it was true, what can I do to prevent this or to overcome this challenge. So there's a lot of reframing. And also I remember asking the last time I used it with a client, and then asked him what his experience was, and he told me, excuse my language, it's remarkable the shit that I believe and that I think. We all have those thoughts. We all have weird, strange, unrealistic thoughts, and that's why it's so helpful just to put them on the paper. And if you don't have to keep it, I shred them afterwards because they are weird. And the same with my clients. So you know, that's a good aspect also to slow down your mind. Other aspects that work very well are using activities that with which you have to use your senses with your hands. So it can be something like a coloring book. It could be like some handiwork. I used to paint different and refurbish different equipment. Another thing that works very well for me is getting a massage. It slows me down very, very quickly. And gardening work is also a great way of slowing down. I know people that actually like to organize things. It helps them to decompress. For me, walking outside, do my daily walk helps as well. And it sounds so simple, but yet most people don't reflect on it. And I've seen, you know, no matter like how self-reflective people are, I see it over and over again that people don't have awareness on what activities actually slow them down. And it helps to really create a list. So your go-to list when you realize, okay, it's happening, my mind is going fast, I have to slow everything down. So use the paper, I can highly recommend it, and use your senses. And you know, there are different ways of doing exercise. Obviously, is always a good way of slowing everything down, get your endorphins kicking. One thing that I've realized with people, especially with extroverts, they tend to overdo the exercise part sometimes. So that can be a challenging aspect. And also acknowledging that there is a physical and an emotional, or physical and body aspects to it, a mind aspect to it. So if you're using, generally speaking, exercise to slow your brain down, also create some time afterwards, 5 or 10 minutes a minimum, where you actually sit down and just feel your body and let your emotions come up. A lot of people run from their own emotions, and that actually creates that anxiety. So they never take the time to actually acknowledge, how do I feel? Where do these feelings coming from? And then actually being able to process those thoughts. And to process these aspects, it is always helpful to write things down. A lot of people don't want to do it, but I highly, highly recommend it. It really works very, very well. So these are certain aspects that came to my mind. I'm sure there are certain aspects that come to your mind. And I really recommend to write these aspects down. Because it will increase your awareness. There's one more aspect that helps me as well, is to go to a public place and just start a conversation. I'm an introvert, but getting out of my head helps to be in the moment with somebody else. And then you just let your guard down, you just relax, and you just talk to somebody, and this is very effective to slow down your mind. I hope these tools help, and I highly recommend for you to just take a sheet of paper out right now to write down, what is my toolbox when my brain goes fast, and how do I slow myself down. Take care, my friend.